Hi everyone, good evening. We are just waiting for Charlotte to join. There we go. Hi Kunj, how are you? Charlotte's just connecting. Hi Manasa. Can somebody tell me if the sound is clear? Can you hear me well? Manasa, do you hear me well? Hi Anam. It's taking time to connect. Thanks Anam. Thank you. Okay, I'll try to be louder. Is that better? Thanks Nandita. I think Charlotte's having trouble joining. Let me just try again.
I don't know what was happening.
Hi.
Facebook. Hi, I'm so sorry. It would not allow me in no matter what I was doing.
I'm sorry, everyone who's watching. So sorry for this glitch.
So sorry.
I think, I ended the live and I started again. So the viewers have left and have had to join again. I'm so sorry for that. I hope everybody comes back. Okay, so here we are. Over to you, Charlotte.
Okay, so I just want to ask you a few questions today. So first of all, happy 6-month birthday to OBLC.
To OBLC, to everyone, especially the members who joined on day one. Like yourself.
I didn't know. Who would know it would be 6 months already? So please share with us how you started this. What made you start this?
Well, okay. It's a very interesting story. So I came to Oman with bag and baggage like permanently in December last year. Although I've been familiar to Oman since 2016, since my husband started working here. So I have been quite a workaholic for 15 years. And when I came in December, this was quite a change for me. So since figuring things out and trying to find what am I going to do? Well, I never knew this is what I'm going to do, but I come from a family of book lovers, and we are somebody who invested a huge amount of money in early learning books for my daughter also. So when I came, I started joining a lot of these Facebook groups of Muscat and Oman and trying to familiarize myself, hopefully find some friends, network a little bit. So my eyes would always get stuck at these books buy and sell posts, and I would constantly tell my husband, let's go buy this, let's go buy that. So there were two constraints. One, he said, where do you have the space? Two, the corona. So, you didn't want to go to people's places and all of that. And space was bigger constraint. And, while it kept going on, I just one fine day got an idea. It was, I think, 30th March or 29th March, I guess, when I got the idea that why buy and sell, why not borrow, share, and exchange? And on some of the book sales posts, I just, posted this comment. I had a little message that I drafted. And then on a few of those Facebook groups posts, I got a good response. So the next thing, I just created the group in a jiffy. And I created WhatsApp and Facebook thing, not knowing what will happen and what will. The funny thing is, the only thing I expected to happen was find 5, 6 friends maximum. I expected 10,
Found
15.
more than that.
I expected 10, 15 people to join, and if I find families with similar age kids, it'll be a good social circle for me with people, families that love books. And that's why I created it. And I never knew that in 1 week we'll cross 100 members.
I know, right? So, and since you've had those members, since the 100 members, it seems like OBLC has just like blown up and grown so very much. Like, you've done a wonderful job. Please tell us all of the different things that's happening with OBLC.
Well, it just started with just the idea of sharing books, and that's about it. And when on 30th March, when we started talking about that, 2nd April, I got COVID. So that sharing of books had to kind of pause when I myself couldn't do it. But fortunately and interestingly, few members did start. People posted their collection and offered exchange to each other. All of that started happening. But since, unfortunately, in April, the COVID second wave hit and things started looking bad, my original idea of creating this were basically 2 things that, I'm very passionate about. One was sharing books, and 2 was having meetups where I visualized a scenario where we create subgroups of genre, interest, and location-wise. So, 8 to 10 people in a subgroup would meet maybe fortnightly or monthly, and each one would bring 2 books to the table, and the books rotate hands around the table with each meetup. So by the end of the circle, you have read maybe 16 books. So that was the idea behind this. But when the second wave came, neither of it could happen. Book exchanges were happening, very few people were doing it, but a lot of people were advocating against it. And the meetups could not happen. So gradually, this shaped itself into a platform where people started talking about books, where people started asking for recommendations, asking or sharing reviews. So that's where it all started. And then as we kept growing, new ideas kept coming, and the vision suddenly overnight, the vision became something like, now I wish to create a platform which is all things books for Oman. I wish to create a platform where every different person who loves books or reading may have different interests, but there is something for everyone. So
it's a one-stop shop. Everything is here.
One-stop shop. So nothing is competition, everything is collaboration, is the mantra I have been living with, where anything and everything, bookshops, authors, everything we try to bring on one platform.
I love it. I love the book rotation. The idea of sharing books is a really good idea. Like but you've taken it and made it into so much more. It's so like, there's so many things happening here. So tell us about some of the things that are happening.
Yeah, so over the period of time, a lot of ideas were brewing, and they were all getting collected, and I did not know how to shape them and structure them and then launch them so that it's not confusing either. So as of now, we've already launched our book rotation system, which took a lot of weeks and months to shape and brainstorm what's the best way to do it.
A lot of work.
We've launched that. We've created the Facebook albums and I'll talk briefly about it because I've had a lot of people feeling confused, because when we posted about book donations, a lot of people felt that people have to donate books to the club, which would come to my house and then I would share them. I have to explain that there are 2-3 different things. You have your collection of books. You may not want to share all. I may not want to share all of my books, but there are certain books I'm comfortable sharing. You segregate your own books. You want to share 5 or 10 books. You keep them up, you put them up for book rotation in the Facebook albums. But there are people, I've got book donations from people who, 1, are either leaving country and they want to give away the books. 2, people who loved books, had huge collection, but now they don't love books anymore, and they would rather have those books go into multiple hands than sit at their home. So those are the kind of people who gave away the books to the club. And 3rd was, we got from the MDS auction the leftover books from Jessica. So these are the various kind of books donations that we got, where people did not want to engage in the club. But for anybody who's a member and they want to share their books and want to engage in the club, books rotation, albums are the ones to go to. The other thing we
And
need
that's
to do,
on the Facebook,
that's
right?
on the,
In the Facebook
yes.
albums. Okay.
You self-upload your book to the album, and the comments under that book will be the queue for the borrowing. So the club doesn't have to do
Okay.
anything except providing the platform, your book, your post, your comments, your engagement with the person wanting to borrow. The club being a platform and keeping the transactions public helps ensure credibility and trust. Because if
Yes.
transaction is happening on the comments in public, a borrower will be responsible. And touch wood, till date, we've not had any bad experience, or people haven't alerted me of a bad experience with book borrowing.
Because it's quite organized, which is good. Organization, all the work that you put into organizing it, it's very good. Very good.
Yeah. The second thing we started this recently was marketplace. We did not want to make it a buy and sell platform from the beginning, but since we said all things books, and then we took a vote from the members, we have started with the Sunday marketplace, where people are allowed to buy and sell on one day of the week, so that the group provides that opportunity and yet doesn't become cluttered with the only sales posts, which
Okay.
the members did not want. We wanted engagement to happen. The third is recently launched live chat with authors, which I have really worked hard for a while, and I'm very excited about that.
I'm excited about that too.
Yeah. So the endeavor was to have a diversity in the kind of authors we bring in. Easiest for me was Indian authors, because I had a few friends, but Indian authors, Omani authors, authors from the rest of the Middle East, and authors from the Western world, and then authors of fiction, non-fiction, authors for kids. So in the first season, in the first 7 authors, we've managed to get all this variety. So
this will be seasonal. The authors, the interviews with the authors will be, the live chats with the authors will be seasonal. I think I like the idea that we will watch season.
Yes, I said it like that because it's a lot of work. It took me 2 months to prepare for this. And so I thought, and we do this for season 1. There's a lot of excitement. Then we take a little break, and then we'll go for season 2. I've already started working
Good
on the
idea.
season 2.
Oh, so you're already on season 2.
Yeah.
Hardworking lady.
We started doing the virtual meets. We did one virtual meet, and then we are yet to plan the second one, which we're thinking of now moving to genre-wise virtual meets. So maybe the next meet will be a particular genre discussion, and the next. And then comes your read-along, which we will talk about tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow about that. So for the virtual meetups that you have, it's just it's like a meetup. It's not like explain the virtual meetup so people can know what it's about.
It's like a physical meetup, like a coffee meeting. So virtual meetup is like a Zoom meeting. We did it in the Facebook group room using the Facebook room feature. So it will be like all of us together. So I think we were 8 or 10 people the other day. But as we go, I'm sure more members will join. So it's like a Zoom meeting, which is the term I think people are more familiar with. So all of us join together, talk. So for the first meetup was an introductory one. So we just shared our own introduction. Manasa was the one who led it. So we had a little game. There was a cue of a word, and so it was fun. You get to know each other, and we talked about books, and so it's going to be an interactive session with the number of people who attend. So
where book lovers can come together and just have fun, like a coffee. Yeah. So we should bring our coffee to the meetup.
Are over. We'll keep continuing with these virtual meetups, because my original vision of creating this was definitely the physical meetups. So I'm already in touch with cafes which are relevant to our cause. So you can imagine the book cafes of Muscat.
Nice.
To host our physical meetups, coffee meetups. And how it shapes up is I intend to eventually marry the read-along and the meetups. And they merge together, and then we break them into genre-wise interests. So there can be a group which is interested in reading romance, there can be a group interested in reading thriller, and there can be a group interested in reading non-fiction, and so on. So that group book, and then they can meet up to discuss the book. So that's how we want to take it forward eventually.